It is 3 years since the phenomenal EndSARS protest, a youth-driven anti-police brutality demonstration, shook Nigeria. The protest, which started from social media, became street campaigns and demonstrations triggered by the excesses of the now disbanded Special Anti-Robbery Squad, SARS. However, on October 2020, Nigerian soldiers fired at the protesters at the Lekki toll gate in Lagos. Meanwhile, the Lagos State Police Command yesterday warned that it will not tolerate any form of gathering at the toll gate in the Lekki area of the state. Joining us now as we take a look at the third-year anniversary of EndSARS is Book-Dabiraoluwa Adeyinka, a human rights activist and foremost EndSARS protester. Good morning, Dabira, and thank you very much for coming on the show this morning.
Good morning.
Right, like I mentioned, today marks 3 years since a most unfortunate incident, one that many would like to forget, but we cannot forget. For the sake of history and for the people who lost their lives on the day and in that period, we must never forget. The first question I'd like to ask you is, this protest was against the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, the extremes of how they targeted young people, extrajudicial killings and the likes which were alleged against them. Has anything changed in 3 years?
Okay, sincerely, we heard that there's no longer EndSARS, but recently, I think early this year, I've encountered policemen along Maito Alaba Expressway, not in uniform. I was on a Uber ride, and they stopped us like violently. So I don't know if I should agree that it is totally crashed.
It's been disbanded.
It's been disbanded. That's
when
what.
you say they stopped you violently, what does that mean?
Jumped in front of my vehicle and then asked the guy that was next to me, that was my assistant, asked him to come down and decided searching him. It also happened recently somewhere in Chicken Republic, somewhere around Ogba. They stopped us too, and they were searching the guy very uncontrollably. And I'm asking, are we saying that? And then the second one, like the question you asked, we also asked for police reform.
Yes.
That was the main goal for us. If the police force can be reformed and their barracks are well put in place and they feel accepted, you know, by the government. Yeah. Probably they will treat us better.
So better welfare for the police.
Yes, better welfare for the police.
Let me ask you a question. When you were stopped, did they identify, how did you know because you said they were plain clothes, how did you identify them as policemen, and what happened? What was the reason for their search? Did you look suspicious? What was the justification for them calling out the man? Because these things are important.
Yes.
Why did they call you out? Was there anything, did you pose a threat to them at that time of the night? And then how did you identify them as police? Because they could be criminals.
It wasn't even at night, it was broad daylight. And some of them were wearing jackets, the dark jackets. Some of them were wearing, identification tags on them. And I think about 2 of them were wearing police uniform. And I'm like, this is a young man, he has his ID card. He's a youth coordinator, so he had to bring out his ID card. They searched his pocket, and the Uber guy was like, this is a Uber ride. And then I said, do you want me to identify myself before you let us? They didn't come close to me. It was just a guy that was sitting by my side. That was the issue for them. Then the other one, too, the same guy was with me when it happened somewhere around Ogba. That was also in the morning, early hours of the morning.
Finally, before I hand over to Kay, you know, they often talk about stereotyping. Did he have dreads on? Did he have laptop on him? Because why was he profiled?
He didn't have.
On 2 occasions, you thought, did he look threatening?
No.
I'm just a bit
He didn't have dreads
surprised.
on. He's just a normal, regular guy. He was representing a political youth leadership. He didn't have anything on him.
All right.
Okay, help us understand, because it's always good to try and be clear on what is fact and what is fake news. The truth of the matter, help us understand. Would you say amongst your peers and all the other people that were involved in EndSARS, the likes of Reno and so on, would you say that there's been some marked change in the way the police behave since EndSARS 2020? Would you say that there has been any difference that is noticeable?
Yes, there's a little bit of difference.
Okay. So there's some progress.
Yes, there's some progress, but not significant enough for us to be rest assured that truly police is our friend. I still see a lot
that change, was it during the era of President Buhari, or have you started seeing change over the last 4 months?
It was close to when President Buhari was leaving the office. In the last 4 months, I've not seen anything. I've not seen anything fantastic.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go to what are the plans for today, and secondly, we all remember a couple of years ago, EndSARS Memorial turned very, very nasty, where, you know, cab drivers were hurt. They had to go to court. I'm not sure if police had paid compensation. I think Inebe took that case to court. And people were, you know, given very sad treatment by the police. What are you people doing today? Are they allowing you guys converge at the venue? Because the Lagos State and the police had said that we do not want people to converge at that venue any longer. Secondly, how are you keeping history because of future revisionists? You know, before people start to say EndSARS had never happened and all sorts, you know, because many years down the line, there will be definitely revisionists that will try to spin and twist history.
So today, we intend to converge at Lekki Toll Gate by Oriental Hotel for 11 a.m. I know I've seen...
Have you got permission from the police to do that? Have you talked to them as regards that?
No, we didn't talk to...
Because I hear there's a heavy presence there.
Yes, there's a heavy presence already.
Yeah.
On my way coming, I already saw presence there. But the bone of contention is until these questions are answered. Who ordered the shooting? We now have a new regime. They should be able to give us, a soft landing to say who are the people who ordered the shooting. These are citizens that were killed. I was there. I almost got killed. So if I died, nobody will be speaking for me. That means that's my end. That's my parents' loss. So some people died. Who ordered the shooting? Do we no longer have rights to protest when we have concerns about the country we call our own country? That is one. Then we'll talk about documenting history. We will continue to remember until justice is served. And we expect that this new administration will even attend to this matter, because we have, according to the states, we have like 103 bodies that are waiting mass burial. We're not even talking
It wasn't from EndSARS, though.
Well, it was EndSARS. Okay. It was EndSARS all across Lagos. We're not even talking about just Lekki Toll Gate. People died all across Lagos State. In Lekki Toll Gate, I experienced over 5 to 6 bodies that I carried. Somebody took my bullet and died on the spot. He covered me and took the bullets on his side, and he died on the spot. So these are bodies. Where are those bodies? Who took those bodies? Why did they do the rushy cleanup over the night? What are they trying to hide? So they should come and answer us. We're not saying, we're going to continue to stay on the streets. But the panel has also given their recommendation. Let this recommendation be approved.
What are those things in the recommendation that you want to be approved? Can you just state it?
The panel recommended and acknowledged that there was a massacre. The panel recommended that all the survivors...
Was that the word that the panel used, massacre? Because that word was being disputed by the state government,
that was the word that the panel used.
Massacre was the word used.
Yes, that there was a massacre.
There was a panel report that was,
yes.
That was everywhere for people to see.
And then the panel also recommended that all the survivors should be compensated. Now, there was a reaching out from the governor. That was not the panel's recommendation. All this should be acknowledged. Some people can no longer live a normal life. They have been amputated for life. So 2 million, 1 million cannot fix their future. So what we are saying is, let this new administration attend to this and really fix the reformation of the Nigerian police, so that we will know our effort is not, and we really count and matter, not until when they want to go for another election. Then they will start reaching out to us to say, come, we want to...
Well, you participated in the last election process. How did you press this to whoever candidate you supported in the last election?
I participated.
How did you make it known? Because you made a very important role.
I participated because I needed to see a government for the people and of the people, and not a rulership to the people. I'm not a politician, and I'm still not a card-carrying member of any political party. But I needed to make my voice.
No, you left SDP and you joined Jandor, isn't it?
I joined to support Funke Akindele and Banky W.
Not Jandor.
Via Jandor's umbrella.
Yeah.
Those were the people I could. I won't support you if I don't know your antecedents. If I don't know what role or part you have played.
And you felt SDP couldn't do it.
Yes.
Okay. And so you supported them. What kind of impact did you make? What representation for EndSARS did you make while you were pushing in that electoral process?
I pushed to the much that I can, but I also find out that really in the politics of Nigeria of today, the youth really don't count. It's not even about the youth.
Really?
We don't really matter. Because we stated a lot of obvious and it was treated with negligence. So I felt politics is a one back thing in Nigeria. That's my experience. You know, I moved from SDP then to PDP, and
PDP betrayed you too.
They didn't betray me, but they didn't perform as much as I would have expected them to perform in that kind of situation where they have a very good opportunity to challenge a system that has neglected Nigerians.
All right, let me come to that statement. You talk about the youth not being fairly treated, paraphrasing what you said, because that's a strong statement, bearing in mind that you're speaking about a population that makes up over 60% of the numbers in Nigeria, and also side by side with the fact that this administration has prided itself in moving for the youths and women, more youth appointments. We have seen a number of younger faces in government. Are you saying it's not enough? Because what you're saying is, despite what this administration is saying in terms of their commitment to young people, it doesn't cut it for you. Is that what the youths are looking for, appointments? No. Are they looking for more things? We now have a minister for youth, Dr. Jamila Ado-Ibrahim. What are some of the things that the young people are agitating for in Nigeria? And then going back to the report and to justice that you mentioned earlier, I'd like you to, I know you talked about compensation. What would justice look like for the Nigerian youths and for those who are affected by the outcome of the 2010-20 shootings, and in your words, as was reported from the panel, massacre on that day? What does justice look like?
Okay, let me take it from the justice angle.
Yeah.
Justice to me would be that we have a government that recognizes the fact that Nigerian citizens were killed and were maltreated on the 20th of October 2020, and a official apology. It's not even the money, like a sincere apology. It's not this regime government that did it.
The money is important.
The money is important, yes, but this sincere apology that, look, the wrongs have been made, you get, we can't retrieve it back, but we are sorry and it won't happen again. Then the perpetrators should be made to answer questions. They should be brought out to say, is it that it is now wrong for us as citizens to come out? That is the only right we have in Nigeria. I don't think we even have it any longer. To express your grievances and come out to protest peacefully. I was there. We were only holding, what do you call it, Nigerian flag. And I was shouting, everybody sit down, don't run. It's not like we had weapons with us. Why are you trying to cover up by changing the narrative? Come and sit down on TV stations to lie that it didn't happen. I wish it happened to maybe some of their relatives, then they can feel the impact. That is justice for me. Then recognize the fact that people have become amputated. These amputees, what can we do for them to make them have, to make them heal? Because it's even me, I am not physically affected, but mentally I'm affected and I can still feel the pain in me. You can see it from my voice. Let the government acknowledge this. Then when you talk about youth involvement in politics and the appointments and all that.
Just in terms of how youth better, because you said that this government doesn't care about it.
So my
very briefly,
my take will be, how were they even appointed in the first place? I know a lot of youths that were part of EndSARS, but for some reason, they are now in this cabinet. How did they get there? What was the selection?
You feel they betrayed EndSARS by joining this cabinet?
Yes, of course. I know. So what was the selection? Must people be in a particular political party for them to be qualified to serve in Nigeria? No. There are a lot of people out there that are sincere with whatever it is that they say. They come and they analyze. They've done critical analysis of how this government can work, and they are not yet even recognized. But there are some people that have already paid the price to support this government. So for that reason, you get an appointment.
Deborah, as we'll wrap up, if you were given a position in this cabinet, would you take it?
I won't.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's about all we can take this morning.